Acknowledging the crucial need for continuous monitoring of the Nigerian waters due to various security threats in the maritime domain, the Nigerian Navy actively conducts patrols, surveillance, and interdiction to secure our maritime corridors. Naval operations are aimed at curtailing maritime threats and criminalities, boosting of local production and address issues like crude oil theft and illicit activities in Nigeria's maritime zone. Welcome aboard Nigerian Navy in Focus. I am Oluwatoyosi Awotunde, your reliable guide for navigating the high seas. On today's episode, we feature the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, flag of ceremony of Operation Delta Sanity, set to replace Operation Dakota the Barao. Join us on this captivating journey as we share highlights from this historic event. But first, let's take a glance at the Admiralty logbook to catch up on other official activities of the Chief of the Naval Staff for the week. Stay tuned.
On the Admiralty logbook this week.
Chief of the Naval Staff Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala was Tuesday 23rd January 2024 at the Spanish Navy headquarters, Madrid, Spain. The Nigerian Navy Chief was received by the Spanish Chief of the Navy, Admiral General Antonio Pinerio Sanchez. The CNS inspected a guard of honor mounted by the Spanish Navy at Navantia shipyard called Velázquez, Madrid, Spain. The following day, Wednesday 24th of January 2024, Chief of the Naval Staff Vice Admiral E.I. Ogala, Admiralty Medal, visited the Spanish Maritime Coordination Center, Cartagena, Spain. He also paid a visit to Spanish Navy ship Audas, where he was briefed. Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, Admiralty Medal, visit to the Cartagena, Spain on Wednesday 24 January 2024. The CNS was briefed by the commanding officer, Lieutenant Commander Jose Antonio Aparicio Mendez, on the peculiarities of the ship. Also on same day, Wednesday 24th of January 2024, Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, visited the Admiral of Maritime Action, Vice Admiral Victoriano Gilabert, at Spanish Naval Base, Cartagena, Spain. The Chief of the Naval Staff's visit to Spain is meant to further strengthen existing bilateral cooperation and collaboration that exists between the Nigerian Navy and the Spanish Navy. Recall that the Spanish ship Audas was in Nigeria in 2023 for a port call. On Friday 19th of January 2024, Rear Admiral S.A. Akinwade represented the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala, to receive the United Kingdom Defense Information practitioners who were at the Naval Headquarters, Abuja, on a courtesy visit. The team was also at the Office of the Chief of Policy and Plans, Rear Admiral J.D. Akpan.
The Nigerian Navy wishes to inform the general public and all potential applicants that the online registration for its Nigerian Navy Basic Training School Batch 36 recruitment exercise will commence on Tuesday 2nd January and close on Friday 2nd February 2024. Applicants are to apply online at www.joinnigeriannavy.com. Applicants must possess a minimum of 5 credits in SSCE, GCE, NACO, and NAPTEP in not more than 2 sittings. School certificate must not be older than 6 years from date of application. Applicants must be between the ages of 18 to 22 years by 30 April 2024 for SSCE and its equivalent. For entry requiring NCE, Diploma OND, registered nurse and midwife qualifications, as well as postmen and sportswomen, imam and chaplain, drivers and mechanics. Applicants must be between the ages of 18 to 26 years by 30 April 2024. Applicants are advised to read the detailed instructions and requirements on www.joinnigeriannavy.com. Beware of fraudsters. Do not pay anyone for recruitment. Announcer, 'Announcer, Navy Secretary.
'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'Navy Secretary. 'N
As part of efforts to further combat crude oil theft and other criminalities in the nation's maritime environment, the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu-Ogalla, Admiralty Medal, flagged off Operation Delta Sanity in Warri. Present at the flag-off ceremony of the new exercise, which took place at the Nigerian Port Authority jetty, were the Delta State Governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Obore-Wori, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Kingsley Emu, the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Oil, Senator Heineken Lokbobiri, the Honorable Minister of Defense, Bello Metawale, represented by Director of Navy, Dr. Raji Ogunshola, the Commander Joint Task Force, JTF, Operation Delta Safe, OPDS, Rear Admiral Olusegun Ferreira, Commander NNS Delta, Commodore Chindo Yahaya. The Navy boss says Operation Delta Sanity replaces Operation Dakata Barao, which was launched in April 2022, adding that the launch of Operation Delta Sanity was timely considering the renewed effort of the federal government towards attaining sustainable development of the blue economy.
The living needs to strategize on environmentally sustainable and clean chief products that are represented as company for as a result the new which will be reconstituted under Operation Delta Sanity to replace the SY Operation Dakota Barao, seeks to restore sanity to oil and gas industry in Nigeria. The Nigerian Delta. The operation will incorporate on preventing kinetic and non-kinetic predators, consolidate the successes of Operation Delta Barao. It will involve the deployment of additional surface and air assets, additional personnel, and other assets within our resources, including logistics, to be able to achieve even greater goals.
Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogalla recalled that the phased-out Operation Dakata Barao was launched in a bid to stem out the tide of crude oil theft with support from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited.
In a bid to stem the tide, the Nigerian Navy launched Operation Dakata Barao in April 2022, which literally means catch the thief or stop the thief. The operation was supported by the NNPCL and other stakeholders working in partnership to tackle the problem of crude oil theft. Since the operation was launched in 2022, the Nigerian Navy has engaged both kinetic and non-kinetic initiatives across the Niger Delta and the entire Nigerian maritime environment, as well as the backward to be able to reverse the trend of oil theft.
He noted that the menace of crude oil theft and illegal bunkering had constituted a substantial threat to the nation's economic development and prosperity.
We all know that crude oil exports constitutes the mainstay of Nigeria's economy, and therefore, crude oil theft is a potent and isolated and existential threat to the nation. It is established that there is a nexus between crude oil theft and oil theft in general and other acts of criminality such as piracy, sea robbery, militancy, cultism within our waters. This is because the resources and the money that is illicit, money that is acquired from this oil theft are always used for the objectives of this other forms of crime. While those other crimes are also used as an enabler to get more involved in oil theft. In essence, the case of crude oil theft has constituted a substantial threat to the nation's economic development and prosperity, and by implication, the well-being of our country and our citizens.
While thanking the Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, President Bola Tinubu GCFR, for his continuous support to the Nigerian Navy, the Chief of Naval Staff noted that with the Blue Economy Initiative, President Bola Tinubu GCFR sought to maximize the nation's potential in deriving optimal benefits from Nigerian maritime environment for economic prosperity. Delta State Governor Honorable Sharif Oborewori, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Kingsley Emu, thanked the Navy for the new operation and promised the state government support.
I wish to thank you and thank the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu, for the consideration to me to witness this special maritime security operation remain operation very concerned. I know with pleasure that this next time concentrates success is recorded by the Nigerian Navy in the fight against oil tanks, pipeline diversion, illegal oil pumping, and other related crimes, with the objective of achieving the secure maritime products. This is a most welcome development and clear demonstration of the vision and dedication of the Navy to secure our territorial waters and safeguard the national economy for the best of the world. Permit me to especially commend Mr. Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ogara, for his patriotism, tenacity, and unwavering commitment with proactive and strong labor. It is confirming to us that he has already indicated the readiness of the command to add key assets into the operational modalities for efficient, effective, and seamless operation.
The Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Heineken Lokobiri, commended the Nigerian Navy for ridding Nigeria's maritime environment of crimes, stating that the Nigerian Navy had made giant strides in its maritime policing efforts in line with its constitutional mandate, especially through prevention of oil theft and others.
The Chief of the Naval Staff, I want to use the opportunity to commend you for what you have achieved since you are appointed, and also to say that much more expected in Nigeria. For Nigeria to survive, the Nigerian Navy must be successful in this operation.
The minister urged all participating units and formations to deliver on the desired operational objectives of Operation Delta Sanity.
This fight against oil terrorism is not Navy's fight alone. The fight forever. But like I said, it affects the very existence of all of us. And so, I'm using this opportunity to sue for support. And also sue for collaboration among services.
With President Tinubu's Blue Economy Initiative aimed at maximizing the nation's enormous potentials on track, and the Nigerian Navy's rejigged and ongoing anti-crude oil theft, anti-illegal bunkering, and related activities, Nigeria will most certainly derive optimal benefits from the maritime environment for economic prosperity. In continuation of his working visit to the Central Naval Command, the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu, paid a courtesy visit to the Executive Governor of Delta State, His Excellency Right Honorable Sharif Francis Orowedo Oborewori, at the Delta State Government House in Asaba as expected. Issues around security on the state's waterways and the protection of national oil and gas infrastructure took center stage. The Chief of the Naval Staff noted that efforts of the Nigerian Navy at curbing activities of oil thieves is yielding results, with assurances that the Navy is doing more to increase its capabilities and strategies in its fight against economic saboteurs. He says the purpose of the visit is to look at possible areas of collaborations with the state government to ensure safer waterways. His Excellency Governor Sharif Oborewori, while commending the Nigerian Navy for its efforts at providing the much-needed security along the waterways, reiterated his commitment to maintaining peace and security in the state, in what can best be described as a demonstration of his commitment to peace and security in Delta State. Governor Sharif Oborewori at the meeting presented the certificate of occupancy for 3,747 hectares of land to the Nigerian Navy for its forward operation base in Escravos, Warri Southwest local government area of the state. Efforts of the Nigerian Navy in collaboration with sister agencies and state governors in maintaining relative peace and security in states within the Central Naval Command has resulted in an increase of oil production and revenue for the country. Still in Delta State, the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, paid a familiarization visit to the headquarters of the Nigerian Navy Logistics Command, Ogara, Delta State, where he urged officers and ratings to take their duty seriously. He was also at the Nigerian Naval Engineering College, Sapele, on an inspection visit. The Navy boss was at the residence of naval icon and former Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral DPE Omatsola, retired in Warri, on a courtesy visit. Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala also paid an inspection visit to the helicopter hangar at the Naval Air Station, Efurun, Delta State, where he commissioned the avionics workshop at the Naval Air Station. The Nigerian Navy, under the leadership of Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, remains committed to the actualization of the renewed hope agenda of the Commander-in-Chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to reposition and improve oil production for national development, as efforts of the Nigerian Navy is already manifesting as seen in the increase of daily oil production.
From 16 to 21st January 2024, the anti-crude oil theft and anti-illegal bunkering operation is currently steered under the conduct of Operation Delta Sanity. The various Nigerian Navy platforms and bases deployed for the operation have continued to sustain anti-crude oil theft and anti-illegal oil bunkering patrols within the Nigerian maritime environment. On 16 January 2024, the naval base Oguta conducted anti-crude oil theft operations in conjunction with representatives of Adax Petroleum Development Limited around Eziosu community in Oguta local government area, Imo State. During the operations, the team discovered 5 wellheads used by criminals to siphon crude oil from the source. The site had product bagged in nylons, tarpaulin and 3 dugout pits with 6 reservoirs laden with 94.3 barrels of product suspected to be stolen crude oil. Combined efforts with ADAX representatives to locate alternative route to wellhead as well as neutralize the criminals involved in the crude oil theft was successful. Accordingly, the site and products were deactivated and handled appropriately. At the forward operation base, Formosho, on same day, an anti-crude oil theft operation conducted around Fonunu, Bras River, Toluama, Abunwa, and Akasa in Bayelsa State discovered drums and long iron pipes, 3 dugout pits, 2 illegal refining sites, 6 ovens, 2 wooden boat and 3 reservoirs laden with about 94.3 barrels of product suspected to be stolen crude oil. Accordingly, the site and its items were handled appropriately. NNS Jubilee Patrol Team on 17th January 2024 intercepted a trailer truck with 5 persons conveying about 1,200 bags of substances suspected to be fertilizer. Similarly, the substances, which were in 3 different colors, white, black and yellow, were in bags with inscription NPK and magical fertilizer. Additionally, after preliminary investigation of the suspects, it was revealed that the products were loaded from Kankara town in Katsina State. The driver presented a receipt showing Akwa Ibom as destination, but without a specific owner or receiving company. Furthermore, the truck was not in the list of trucks approved by the Office of the National Security Advisor to move fertilizer within the month in view. Accordingly,
The truck is presently in the custody of the base while detailed investigation is ongoing. NNS Pathfinder, in conjunction with Naval Security Stations 026 and 028, on 18th January 2024, conducted swamp buggy operations around Tombol 1, Bile in Dagema local government area, and Market at New Road in Borokiri areas of Rivers State. During the operations, the team discovered 13 metal plates, 12 pipes, 2 illegal refining sites, 3 ovens, 11 reservoirs, 300 drums and 30 bags filled with 75,000 liters of products suspected to be siphoned, AGO, and 10 wooden boats laden with 62.9 barrels of products suspected to be stolen crude oil respectively. Accordingly, the wooden boats and products were moved to a safe location and handled appropriately. FOB Igbokoda also conducted anti-crude oil theft operations around Awoye community, Ilaje local government area in Ondo State on 18th January 2024. The team discovered 1 large wooden boat with 39 empty drums and 1 pumping machine. Meanwhile, the suspect abandoned the boat and fled to evade arrest on sighting the patrol team. Accordingly, the wooden boat was towed to a safe location and handled appropriately. On 18th January 2024, FOB Boni conducted anti-crude oil theft operations around Boni Channel, Sobiekri and adjoining environs in Rivers State, where the team intercepted 1 fiber boat conveying newly constructed metal drums and reservoir intended to be used for construction of illegal refining site. On sighting the team, the criminals fled into nearby shrubs to evade arrest. Accordingly, the wooden boat and its items were handled appropriately. NNS Beecroft on 19th January 2024 conducted anti-crude oil theft operations in the Lagos coast. The team intercepted 1 wooden boat laden with about 800 by 30 liters jerrycans of products suspected to be stolen PMS. The wooden boat was therefore dismantled and handled appropriately. NNS Delta on 19th January 2024, NNS Delta conducted anti-crude oil theft operations around Elume and Bofo Creek in Warri South local government area of Delta State. The team discovered an illegal refining site with 3 drums, 1 pumping machine, 9 ovens, 1 reservoir and 26 sacks and bags. Accordingly, the site was dismantled while the product was handled appropriately. Cumulatively, a total of 6 illegal refining sites, 18 ovens, 21 reservoirs, 6 dugout pits and 17 wooden boats were appropriately handled during the period under review. Additionally, oil thieves were denied about 306 barrels of product suspected to be stolen crude oil and 75,000 liters of illegally refined AGO. When compared with the previous weeks, there was an increase in the numbers of illegal refining sites, ovens, reservoirs, dugout pits and number of wooden boats that were deactivated. Also, the week witnessed an increase in quantity of AGO and a decrease in crude oil denied oil thieves. This gives credence to the effectiveness of the Nigerian Navy anti-crude oil theft operations. To this end, the Nigerian Navy will sustain these operations to ensure zero crude oil theft in Nigerian maritime environment.
The Nigerian Navy invites interested applicants who are suitably qualified for special enlistment into the Nigerian Navy Direct Short Service Course DSSC-29. But applicants should note that applications are only accepted in the following disciplines: medical sciences, electrical electronics engineering, mechanical engineering, marine engineering, information communication technology ICT, and legal services. The registration is online and starts from the 27th of December 2023 till 7th of February 2024. Visit Nigerian Navy website at www.joinnigeriannavy.com for instructions and details on specific terms and conditions of application. The enlistment process is totally free. Beware of fraudsters. Do not pay anyone. Announcer, Navy Secretary, Nigerian Navy. Onward together.
In a global landscape where expansive waterways link nations and support international commerce, a crucial duty emerges, which is the protection of the maritime domain. In recognizing the dual significance of the maritime environment, it then becomes imperative to safeguard and promote the sustainable utilization of the nation's assets. Through a collective sense of purpose, we can ensure a more secure, resilient, and prosperous Nigeria for everyone. Nigerian Navy in Focus for this week ends at this junction. Thanks for joining us on this enlightening maritime exploration. I am Oluwatoyosi Awotunde. See you next week. Onward together.